They covered the place with red earth and left before the rain. But something small beneath that ground still remembered my name. Oh yeah, oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I came back with an empty basket pressed against my side. The path was thin behind the houses where old words go to hide. I knelt beside the quiet mound and touched it with one hand. The dust was warm under my fingers, warm where it should be cold. I leaned close to the silence and heard a low song hold. The spark they could not bury was waiting under stone, not asking for a witness, not begging to be known. The spark they could not bury was breathing through the clay. I thought they took my voice from me, but it had learned to stay. I brought water from the cracked blue cup and poured it slow and thin. A line of dark ran through the dust, like life returning in. Then dry grass moved around my knees, though no one passed nearby. The spark they could not bury was not lost in the ground. It kept its place beneath me without making a sound. The spark they could not bury rose quiet through the clay. I put my ear against the earth and heard my own voice pray. I dug until my nails turned red and found no bone, no chain, only the beat my mother gave me, bright with the hidden stain. I tied it back around my throat and stood up with its weight. The spark they could not bury is walking in my chest. It does not shout for mercy, it does not ask for rest. The spark they could not bury has opened into flame. What they pressed into the earth now rises with my name. I left the basket by the mound, empty in the sun. The spark they could not bury had already begun. I heard the ground call low, under my heel, under my neck. I did not answer soft. I sat by the old cooking stone where the morning had not yet come. My hands were cold from holding back words I should have sung. There was dust along my neckline, there was salt behind my teeth. I kept my sorrow standing still so nobody would see. But something knocks deep under the skin, not loud, but it would not leave. Oh, yeah, yeah. I walked past the broken fence, past the goats and the empty tin. An elder watched me from her chair, like she knew where I had been. She said, "Child, your silence has a weight, but your feet still know the road." Then she placed one hand upon my back, and I felt the morning open. Not in my mouth, not in my eyes, lower than fear, older than crying. There is fire in my bones, fire in my bones. I was quiet for too long, but I was never stoned. There is fire in my bones, fire in my bones. When I stand, the dust remembers I was born to carry home. Under my ribs, under the red earth, I hear myself returning. Under my ribs, under the red earth, I hear myself returning. I took the cloth from my shoulders and tied it around my waist. No more hiding what I carry, no more lowering my face. At the well I saw my reflection, shaking in the metal pail. I touched the water with 2 fingers and said, "I am still here." There is fire in my bones, fire in my bones. Not a blaze for them to watch, but a heat that brings me home. There is fire in my bones, fire in my bones. I walk forward with my name, and I do not walk alone. Under my heel, under my name, the road knows my steps now. I will not return the same. Oh, I went down to the river bend before the village woke. My hands were full of old words I had never spoke. The water touched my ankles, cool against the dust. I opened my small cloth bundle and let it face the sun. Inside were beads from yesterday and a note I could not read. I placed them on the river store, one by one with care. Then I heard my breath come forward like someone waiting there. I am burning without fear, burning without fear. Not loud for the world to see, but steady, close and clear. I am burning without fear, with water at my knees. What tried to dry my spirit out now loosens into the street. I walked home through wet grass with no fear looking down.
Morning came through the closed door, thin gold on the floor. I placed my hand upon my ribs and asked for nothing more. The room still smelled of old smoke from the pot we used last night. My cup sat empty by the wall, turned toward the light. I had been speaking small for days, like my mouth had lost its place. Then the sun reached my shoulder, slow as a mother's hand, and I knew what lived inside me had not left this land. I carry the heat, I carry the heat, not to burn the world around me, but to stand upon my feet. Oh, I carry the heat, low and deep. When the road grows long before me, it wakes me from my sleep. I tied my blue cloth tighter and stepped beyond the gate. Dry grass brushed against my ankles like it wanted me to wait. But the gold was on the hillside and my name was moving there. I carry the heat, I carry the heat, not the words they paste upon me, not the silence they repeat. Oh, I carry the heat, calm and deep. Every step becomes an answer, every breath becomes a seed. At noon, I stopped beside the well and saw my face bend wide. The water shook my old fear loose, but kept my eyes alive. I drank and left the cup uncovered for the next one on the road. I carry the heat, I carry the heat, from the hands that raise me steady, to the ground beneath my feet. I carry the heat, strong and deep. Now the sun does not leave me, it walks inside of me. Gold dust on my open palms, warm road under my skin. I carry the heat forward and I begin again. first bird cry. Yeah. In bows along the wall, my dress lay folded near my feet, like it feared the door. Then an elder song came low through the open side. I was made to rise. I was made to rise, not to stay beneath the quiet, not to lower both my eyes. Oh, I was made to rise, with my name still alive. What was pressed into the silence cannot keep me inside. I tied my hair with steady hands and washed the cup clean. Red earth waited past the stairs, warm beneath the green. I was made to rise. I was made to rise, not as someone asking mercy, not as someone left behind. I was made to rise, with the morning in my spine. Every breath I almost swallowed, now it's standing in line. I found my mother's old blue bead under the sleeping bed. I held it close against my mouth and gave my answer back. Hey, hey, I was made to rise. I was made to rise. The silence knows my footsteps now. The day has heard my voice. I opened the door with both hands, walked into my choice. I woke before the morning bell, with red earth on my hands. The house was quiet behind me, but my name began to stand. I carried yesterday in a folded cloth, tied close against my chest. Dry grass moved beside the road, like he knew I had not slept. Her mother's voice came from the yard, saying, "Child, keep walking west." Gold touched the stones before my feet. I did not turn away. smoke they left behind, not the ash upon my name. I am the flame, still alive inside this clay. I've been low to meet the morning, then I rise another way. I wash my face with little water from a bowl beside the door. Left my fear under the mango tree where we cannot follow more. Distant drums began to answer what my mouth was waiting for. To the ground inside were words I never spoke, but they made no heavy sound. I stepped across my own line and did not look back down. I am the flame, I am the flame. I do not ask the dark for room, I do not beg to stay. I am the flame, carried in my mother's name. When the long road calls me forward, I will rise and light the way. Red earth warm beneath my feet, golden morning on my face. I am the flame still moving, I am home inside my place. I kept the bowl near the doorway, covered with a piece of cloth. Every morning I walked past it like it still owned my thoughts. Inside were names I never answered, small gray dust from yesterday. I touched the rim with careful fingers, then put my hand away. The room was quiet as a closed mouth. The chair still faced the wall, but my breath came back slowly, one warm note at a time. I heard my own feet moving before I chose the line. Ashes cannot hold me, ashes cannot hold me. What is finished has touched my dress. A distant drum rolled once behind me, then faded like a test. I turned the bowl into the morning and let the grave fall loose. Ashes cannot hold me. Ashes cannot hold me. What is empty has no road. It cannot walk before me. Ashes cannot hold me. I am not the dust they knew. I have washed my voice in silence. Now it rises clean and true. One piece stayed against my palm, dark as an old mistake. I placed it under a flagstone and did not mark the place. Then I opened both my hands and felt the day move through. Ashes cannot hold me. Ashes cannot hold me. I have given back the ending. I have taken back the key. Ashes cannot hold me. No cobalt carries me. I walk out with my living voice, and leave the grave beneath my feet. The doorway stands behind me now. The cloth is on the ground. Ashes cannot hold me. I am more than what burned down. The path was warm before sunrise. My feet knew where to go. I held one seed in my left hand and walked out slow. The red earth marked my ankles like a story I could not hide. I passed the chair where I once waited, with my mouth closed tight. Dry grass leaned against the doorway, as if it watched me leave. I pressed the seed into my palm until the pain felt clean. Then I heard the road beneath me say, "You are not what they made." I rise through the burning, step by step I rise. Not for the ones who left me low, not for their watching eyes. I rise through the burning, with dust upon my knees. What tried to keep me on the ground now walks behind me. At the hill I dropped the seed, where no rain had touched the land. I covered it with both my hands and whispered what I planned. A distant drum moved through the morning like a door beginning to open. I rise through the burning, step by step I rise. Not as the woman they remember, not as the girl who cried. I rise through the burning, with my name between my teeth. The road is wide before me now. until my own breath became the sound I followed. Lord, I rise through the burning, higher than my shame. I carry no borrowed silence. I answer to my name. I rise through the burning, rooted, raw and free. The ground that watched me fall before now rises under me. One seed sleeps in the dry red earth. One voice begins to bloom. I rise through the burning and make the morning room. I found the bowl beside the door, still warm from yesterday. No one spoke inside the room, but something knew my name. I sat where my mother used to sit, with my hands upon my knees. The walls held every word I lost, like cloth hung out to breathe. A small red glow beneath the ash kept blinking back at me. I leaned close without a sound and listened with my chest. There under the quiet place, a living answer slept. Voice of the ember, call me low, call me where the old tears go. Voice of the ember, soft and deep, wake the song I could not keep. Voice of the ember, guide me through till my own voice rises too. Cup from the wooden shelf, the one with the broken side, filled it slowly from the clay jar and held it to the light. Outside, distant drums were moving like feet behind the night. Voice of the ember, call me low, call me where the old tears go. Touched the ash with 2 fingers and marked my throat with gray. Not to mourn what left me silent, but to bless what chose to stay. Then I opened the door before sunrise and spoke into the day. A small red glow became a voice, and I carried it out. Before the day found the roof, I was already awake. One hand on my chest, one hand on the floor. Yeah, yeah, yeah. The room held the last dark. In the corners of the clay wall, my dress hung from a wooden peg, creased from yesterday's silence. I did not cry, I folded the mat, I washed the cup. I opened the door halfway. Something moved low, not in the world, in me. Outside, red earth waited, with the marks of old feet. A thin line of smoke rose from my neighbor's yard. I heard a woman sweeping dust before any bird began. That sound entered my body like a reason to stand. No drum yet, no song yet, only breath making room. Before light beneath my skin, I was learning to return. Before light touched the morning, something quiet had begun. Before light beneath my skin, I held myself again. Not loud, not finished, but alive. Thread from my wrist and tied it to the door. Not to keep myself inside, but to leave that night there. Then I stepped out barefoot, and the dust knew I had changed. Before light beneath my skin, I was already rising. Before the gold reached the hill, my voice had found its way. Before light beneath my skin, I carried morning first. The day did not make me new, it only saw me turn. Now the roof is bright behind me. Now my hands are open. I walk into the waking land with light beneath my skin. The room was cold after morning, but one bowl still held warmth. I placed it close against my chest and listened without words. Last night I sat beside the ashes with my dress pulled to my knees. The walls that heard me whisper things I never meant to keep. A small red eye beneath the gray looked back and did not sleep. to feel what stayed alive when everything burned low. I was born from the ember, born from the ember, not from what they took away, but from what still remembers. I was born from the ember, warm beneath the gray. What they thought had ended there was learning my new name. Outside where dry grass touched the stone, and held her past without speaking, but she knew I was not alone. I tipped the ash into the earth and kept the red part near. I was born from the ember, born from the ember, not from the quiet room behind, not from the falling timber. I was born from the ember, small, alive and clear. Even when my voice was gone, my breath was waiting here. At the oak tree I opened my palm and let the red light show. It did not ask me to be loud, it only asked me to know. I pressed my hand against my throat and gave the first note. My living flame. The bowl is empty by the tree. The morning holds my sound. Born from the ember, I walk on with both feet on the ground. I stood where the yard turned red, barefoot in the morning heat. The ground was not quiet today, it was speaking under me. My dress brushed the cooking stove, still warm from the night before. I had swept the same small room till my hands knew every floor. But dust kept rising in the light, like it wanted me to move. Then the first drum crossed the hill, low enough to reach my knees. I did not lift my voice yet, I only lifted my feet. Flames around my feet, flames around my feet, not to make me run away, but to wake the ground in me. Flames around my feet, turning dust into a beat. Every step I held inside, it is now walking out of me. Thread from my old blue hem, left the broom beside the doorway and did not pick it up again. Dry grass opened past the gate, like hands making room. Flames around my feet, not the pain they thought would kill me, my name alive inside. The circle opened after dusk. I stood outside the sun. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. My feet were red with evening dust. My hands held nothing tight. I watched the cooking coals breathe low beside the women's light. Then one drum called from far away, and my silence turned its face. Standing in the firelight, standing in the firelight, not behind a broken door, not hidden from their sight. Standing in the firelight, with my name upon my tongue. I am not the voice they buried, I am the one who comes. An elder moved the wooden stool and left a place for me. I sat where all the faces glowed and let my shoulders breathe. Standing in the firelight, standing in the firelight, not the child who left the table, not the woman out of sight. Standing in the firelight, with old songs at my knees, every mouth that once forgot me now makes room for me. Yeah. I took the beat from my pocket and laid it near the flame. The heat did not erase it, it brightened every step. In the firelight, I do not turn away. The circle knows my footsteps now. The night has heard my name. I came in from the silence and stayed where I was seen. Came to the river slowly, with dust along my dress. The morning held its breath there, like it knew what I had left. I placed my basket by the reeds and sat upon a stone. The water carried small white flowers past the place I stood alone. I washed my wrist in silence till the old day loosened there. Then a low drum crossed the water, soft enough to guide. I felt my breath grow warmer on from my hands did not take away my name. I opened the cloth I carried and found one copper ring, the one I hid for many years from the life I could not sing. I let it touch the river once, then kept it in my palm. My soul burned steady, my soul burned steady, not asking for the old road, not begging memory. My soul burned steady, deep where no one sees. Every tear that crossed my face has learned to move in me. At noon I saw my reflection break and come back home. The river bent my face in pieces, but did not steal my soul. I stood and tied the covering into the edge of my dress. My soul burned steady, my soul burned steady. I have walked through leaving, and still I carry peace. My soul burned steady, clear beneath my skin. The water could not drown it, it only let me begin. I left with one feet shining, and the ring against my knee. My soul burns steady now, quiet, warm, and free. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. A song came before sunrise, soft through the clay wall. I knew it by the first note, before I knew myself. I sat beside the sleeping mat, with my knees drawn close. The room still held her humming in the cup, in the folded clothes. A thin gold line crossed the doorway and rested on my hands. I did not ask where to go, I only closed my eyes. Her voice moved under my breathing, like bread beginning to rise. Heat of my mother's song, carry me, when my own voice turns small. Come and sit beside me. Heat of my mother's song, steady in my chest. Teach my feet the old rhythm, teach my heart the rest. Heat of my mother's soul, heat of my mother's soul. I found her scarf behind the basket, still smelling of smoke and rain. Tied one corner around my wrist and spoke my childhood name. Outside, distant drums were waking, but a song arrived first. Heat of my mother's song, with my bundle tied in blue. The road was pale beyond the huts, like it had been waiting too. I counted stones beside the path to keep my voice from shaking. A line of dust crossed both my feet as if the land was taken. The words I could not say out loud, and carrying them ahead. Far off, the day began to open, gold along the plain. I heard no one call behind me, but something called my name. The fire knows my name. The fire knows my name. Not the name they used in anger, not the one I wore in shame. Hey, the fire knows my name. It speaks low across the flame. When I forget where I belong, it brings me back again. By noon I reached the wide open land, where the grass grew thin and dry. I placed my bundle on a stone and let the road pass by. Then an elder song rose somewhere, small, steady and near. The fire knows my name. Hey, the fire knows my name. Not the road that made me tired. Hey, not the dust that hit my face. The fire knows my name. He keeps a place the same when my feet have gone too far. It brings me back again. I untied the blue cloth slowly and found my mother's bead I had carried home inside it while I thought I had to leave. I pressed it warm against my throat and answered what I heard. The fire knows my name. The fire knows my name. I am not a stranger here. I am not a borrowed flame. The fire knows my name. It has kept my place away. Now I walk the road before me, with my home inside my name. The horizon did not swallow me. It opened like a door. The fire knows my name now, and I know mine once more. The far road shook in the moonlight, thin gold over stone. I tied my scarf below my chin and left the gate alone. Behind me the house stood quiet, with one cup near the wall. I had stayed there counting evenings, like they could answer all. But the white land kept opening past the place I used to stop. I put my hand above my feet bent low. The road did not move toward me, so I made myself go. I walked through the flame. I walked through the flame, not to prove my pain was holy, not to give my hurt a name. I walked through the flame, with my feet upon the blade. What once stood tall before me, now is something I can cross. Dry grass caught against my ankles and broke without a sound. A distant drum came from the hill, then rolled beneath the ground. I kept one beat inside my palm till it warmed like living skin. I walked through the flame. I walked through the flame, not as the woman they left waiting, not as someone bent by shame. I walked through the flame, with the horizon in my chest. Every step that tried to shake me, now teaches me the next. At the ridge I saw the old path, turned back toward the door. I laid the warm bead on a stone, I needed it no more. Then I spoke my name once clearly and let the open land reply. I walked through the flame. I walked through the flame. The heat does not divide me. It clears the road I claim. I walk through the flame, and I do not walk the same. What I thought would end my journey has become the way I rise. The gate is small behind me, the horizon holds my face. I walk through the flame now and leave with my own pace.